So hello everyone, here's Radian. In this video we're going to start with trigonometry, and basically you know that trigonometry is all about angles and how the relationships between angles and that kind of thing. So first of all, you need to know what an angle is, and an angle is created whenever, for example, you have a line like this and a line like this. The two lines intersect at this point, and then, for example, you have an angle over here, and then you have an angle over here, or one over here, or one over here. And then in order to be able to measure those angles, we need to know what's the measure of this angle or this one. We need to have some sort of agreements, and so we need to have some units in order to measure them. In mathematics, they have basically created some sort of standard it's a little I mean, it's only my first day using this pen, this digital pen, so it's not so easy for me to draw with this. Ouch, sorry. And well, they have created a unit circle, and then based on this unit circle you can measure angles. And this unit circle basically works like this. Let me just sketch a graph of this circle. It's a circle like this. Let's say this is your x-axis, and this is your y-axis. Well, it's not so straight, but I'll show you in a minute a standard unit circle, what it looks like. So if you have one unit here, the radius of the circle, and if you had a circle over here like this, then you have a unit circle. They call it a unit circle because the radius of the circle is basically 1 unit. The distance from here to here is basically 1 unit, so it's a unit circle. And then you could have an angle, something like this, and then you could say that this angle is for example 30 degrees or something like that. And now let me show you what a unit circle is. I need to go to mathisfun.com and unit circle. So unit circle. So as you can see, this is a unit circle. It starts from here and goes all the way up to, you can see that this is the unit circle. It starts from here, and as you move around the circle, you move from 0. You can see the angles over here. Sine, cos, and tan. We'll get to those later, but the measure of the angle is shown here. So it goes from 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 to 90 here. It goes to 180 here. It goes to 270 here, and then goes to 360. So I have 360 degrees with one whole revolution around this circle. And so in order to basically measure angles, we have basically 2 degrees that we're going to use here. One of them is radians, and the other one is degrees. and radians is just a unit, degrees is another unit. As I mentioned, they have basically divided the circumference of this circle, the line specifying the circle, this line over here. This is the circumference of the circle. They have divided this line into 360 identical distances all along the circumference, and so you have 0 to 360 degrees, and for example 1 degree would be something over here. Let me see, this is 1 degree because this is the angle, and then you move to 2 degrees, something like this, 3 degrees, and then this is 190 degrees. So this would be 90 degrees over here. So 90, it means all along the circumference you have 90 equal distances along the circumference. So this would be 90 degrees. And then again you have another 90, so here you end up with 180, and then another 90 would be 270, another 90, 360 degrees, and then you start from 0 from here. So basically when you're using the unit degrees, so you have 0 to 360 here degrees, and radians is basically the same story, but the same circle has been divided into 2 pi radians. So you have 0 to 2 pi basically over here as radians. And so according to our unit circle, then 2 pi radians would be equal to 360 degrees. I call this equation number 1, and then we can use it in solving problems and conversion between radians and degrees. So if you want to convert between radians and degrees, you can use this equation to calculate, for example, 1 degree in terms of radians or 1 radian in terms of degrees. And the way to do that, you know that equation number 1, we had 2 pi radians equal to 360 degrees. And then if I in order to find 1 degree in terms of radians, you can calculate both sides of this equation by 360, and then you would get 2 pi divided by 360 radians would be equal to 360 divided by 360 degrees. You can simplify this by dividing by 2. Dividing by 2, you get 180, and then this would be 1. So pi by 180 radians would be equal to 1 degree. So this is equation number 2. You can use it in conversion. And then again, you can use this equation number 1 if you use equation number 1 and divide both sides by 2 pi, you get 2 pi divided by 2 pi radians is equal to 360 divided by 2 pi, So degrees, and then you can simplify. This would be 1, this would be 2, 360 divided by 2 would be 180, and this would be 1. So basically 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees. And this is equation number 3. You can use them in conversion. Now we can do an example here. In order to do an example, for example, you want to find what's 60 degrees in radians. 60 degrees in radians. And you can calculate that. You can use this equation number 2. If 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians, then 60 degrees would be 60 into this. So then 60 degrees would be equal to pi by 180 into 60. So then 60, you can simplify this by 60, 180 divided by 60 is 3, and this would be 1, so it would be pi by 3 radians. And also you could, for example, express 5 pi by 4. Another example, 5 pi by 4 in terms of radians. What's that in degrees? You could use this equation over here, equation number 3. If 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees, then 5 pi by 4 radians, you just multiply both sides by 5 pi by 4, and then you get 5 pi by 4 radians is equal to 180 by pi into 5 pi by 4 degrees. And so you can simplify this by, you can get rid of the pi's here, and then pi 180 divided by 4 is, let me see, 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 divided by 2 is 45, so this would be 45 and this would be 1, and 45 into 5 would be 40 into 5 is 200, and 5 into 5 is 25, so it's 225 degrees, which is correct. So that's basically the basics of degrees and radians and how you convert between degrees and radians. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next video.